Hey, hello, good morning. Well, good evening for you, most of you. Live from Lima, as they say. I hope this works. I just had a Zoom call with someone in the United States, and the connection wasn't really good here. So I honestly hope this works and doesn't give any bad sounds or whatever. Um, so I want to continue with the sessions on visioning. And I realized this morning that um, although vision sounds always like a big thing, like something for entrepreneurs, and that's something you see yourself doing in a normal paid job where you're an employee. Um, I wanna set that straight because that's not true. Visioning is happening, um, or can be shown in any different way, in any different way how you live your life. So what actually vision is to make your life purposeful, to have a fulfillment in your life that makes sure that your life is purposeful and feels purposeful. That's what a vision is about. A vision is just this making this what actually is so in alignment with your inner self, the you who you are, the purpose why you're here. The vision is just a way how to express that you who you are. So that can show up in any way. That can show up if you love to be a nurse and you love to work in hospitals and take care of people, and your purpose is to really take care of that process for people who are sick, and nurture them and nourish them. Um, and then your vision in that role might be that you are becoming more aware of the fact that that really is such in the core of your heart, that you love doing that, but that your current job is now really sharing the same qualities that you would like to see yourself doing. And then your vision might be something like, I love to take care of people who are ill, and make them feel as comfortable as possible in their process, and even make sure that they get better, or at least try to facilitate that process. And then that's your kind of your vision. That's the role you see yourself doing. And then you can fill into actually what's the qualities then that I love doing, and the qualities that I naturally share with others. And so it's more a process of becoming aware what you're really good at and naturally giving, and that you really give for someone else instead of that you do your role because you want to feel better at the end of the day for yourself, or you want to have a paycheck at the end of the month, or you need a job because you need to live, you need an income. Um, that necessity of needing an income is always there as long as we live in this current system. But how we create that income, or how we make our lives fulfilling, even if we don't need an income, that's something that's often overlooked at. Because just take this example of this nurse again. You might have decided for this role when along the way you kind of lost yourself because the system is actually working against you. But there are now organizations who have different values, and you might want to choose for different organizations or for a different role within your role as a nurse. So you can really share yourself in that role. So the vision doesn't have to be grand and life-changing for the whole planet. We don't have to become all Elon Musks to invent new rockets to fly to the moon. It can be very small. But for most people who are in waking up in this process, they just become aware that they don't really like what they're doing most of the time. So they don't like their jobs. It's not feeling fulfilled. It's not, they can't really share the qualities as they like, or they become aware of qualities that are not part of their job. And then this visioning process really helps to become aware that what you actually want, what you actually feel really excited about. And that's why I asked you to go back to your childhood, because often you see qualities there that you love to fantasize about, or love to do, or love to play with as a child, that often show up in a way in your vision. Because when you were a child, you were quite aligned with who you are. You were not so caught up yet by all the programming of your surroundings. So it was more pure then than it is now. Well, it's not. It's still as pure, but it was more palpable then than it's sometimes if now, being covered up by all this limiting beliefs we have, or the situation we feel stuck in. So for me, it's more like this process of these days of working with visioning is more like become really aware of what you actually feel energized about and feel excited about, and how you can be at service to others. And then if you do want to change your job, or if you do want to change your daily life activities in a more fundamental way, like finding a new job or setting up a new company, or become a coach, or whatever it is you like, then it really helps to become very clear of your limiting beliefs and where you get uncomfortable as soon as you think about this vision, because that shows up immediately. All these things like, I can't do this, or I don't have the money, or I don't have the resources, or whatever, or I don't have the position to change now, is coming up immediately to block the whole process. And that actually never moves you from A to B. And all these reasons seem very logical and make a lot of sense. But it's not helping you. So this purpose is actually what's already in you when you were born, almost like this is like this. So for me, I had to work with people. That was my lab. I was born to work with people, and it had to do something with connectedness and this feeling of separation. That was what came through at a young age, not so much in my fantasy play, but this whole theme of being, that's another thing, by the way, this whole theme you're working on most of the time, like for me, it's feeling separated and not seen. The theme is often also the one that you excel in eventually, if you have let go of all these lack beliefs. So that's the one that you really like, actually are going to share with others, because you have explored that specific theme in so much depth that you then can help others in actually overcoming the same thing, or getting clarity on the same thing. And I'm not saying we all have to become coaches. It often is. Oh, by the way, most of people who have waken up become coach or trainer or consultant to help others. But obviously, it doesn't have to be. You can also become a writer. You can also create retreats, or you can also do it just within the job you're already doing. Like if you're a very technical driven person, then you will probably stay in that arena, but you might show more of yourself, which is more in alignment with your purpose in that job if you follow your vision. So examples always help. So for me, my vision was very clear. I just wanted to wake up people. That became clear 3 years ago, or 4 years ago almost. And I honestly had no idea how. But I want people to experience the same thing as I had. And I want to make it very practical. So I wanted to make it so practical that I could find the shortest way to waking up. That was always the question. And then this journey started of trying out different things. And in order for you to shorten this process, I've already addressed 3 sessions to this topic to get quicker clarity actually on where you really want to go. Because what held me back for many years and really stepping into this new role was the fact that I had difficulties with overcoming my fears in stepping into this new role. And I had a belief within me that I wouldn't be a teacher. Well, and I can't deny now that I'm in a new form perhaps, but I'm teaching here. Not perhaps in the classical way. So I had programmed myself with a teacher who stands in front of a group and has to know everything about the subject from A to Z, because the teacher needs to know a lot more than the students. And then I thought, I don't want to be a trainer because I don't want to work with groups. I did that when I was working as a consultant, but I didn't really like that quality of being a trainer and getting people through days of training through a curriculum. So I completely blocked that way of thinking, and I went on to finding out this way in becoming a coach. Because I thought like that, well, that's the solution then. I become a coach or a mentor or a counselor, and I reflect people back with what I see is happening or what's holding themselves back. And that's then the process to wake them up. So this way of becoming a coach has been very useful, obviously, and I probably would have been doing it the same way, but at the same time, this predefined and this assumption of what a teacher is or what a trainer is didn't open me up for this way of working with people. So that's why I want to have you focused on what kind of qualities and what kind of talents you have. And then see where you actually are still lacking things. So some of your talents you have natural and you already have it, but you're not aware of it. But hopefully by now you've done that exercise, you've become more aware of your natural talents. And when you think of your visions, now we're getting into creating our vision. When we go into creation of our vision, we have to kind of make a step process going from A to B. So your current situation is where you are right now, and you don't like all aspects of what you're doing to have a fulfilled life. And you know where you want to go to. And like I said yesterday, if that vision, or the day before, if that vision is too big, then make it a little bit smaller, a little bit more reachable and tangible and practical. But it still must be aligned with the bigger vision. But you just take one subset out of it, like, okay, I can see myself going into that direction first. So for me, it was like, okay, I knew I want to wake up people. I thought like, okay, I have to become a coach first. So I followed a training in London to become a coach. And I kept constantly checking whether that decision was in alignment with my vision. And then I thought, yes, it's an alignment because I want to wake up people and I can help them in the process if I really know the skills and become very empowered at being a coach. So what I would like you to do is define the skills that you need and you don't think you have them yet. And that doesn't mean that we all have to train ourselves and buy into expensive trainings, but at least things that you might lack today or feel you're lacking today, and then make an overview of actually what you know it's part of, or it's contributing to realizing your vision. So for me, it was becoming a coach. For another person who wants to change jobs and become a teacher, he might need a qualification for that to become a teacher at a school. So write them down, like, okay, I need a qualification. There's still a decision, there's still an exploration, like, do I really need this? or do I need this out of a feeling of lack belief or non-confidence within me about that topic? So looking back at what I learned at the coaching training, I mean, for my personal process of seeing myself as a coach, it was very valuable. Content-wise, what I learned in the training was not so valuable. If I would have said 2 years ago, I'm a coach, and I believed in myself, I would have been a coach and would have spent all that money 3 years ago. So, but some are obviously requirements from others, from this system, that you need to have a certain certificate. And for me, having this certificate of being a professional coach, I thought would help me to get into companies. So I could at least show the paper like, oh no, I have the certification, I am a professional coach. So there was a good reason to do that. And I still use a lot what I learned there. I don't know if it was worth the money, but that's fine. I made a decision at that time, and I did it thoroughly. And it felt good, and it was in alignment with my vision. So going from A to B, so going from vision to creating your vision, is not a straight line. It goes like this. So you try things out, or you add qualities, or you add skills. And then by doing that process, you might see like, okay, but now actually the vision itself has not really shifted, but how I want to show that vision in this world has shifted a little. So in my process, I went from working one-on-one with people with working one-on-many. And that one-on-many wasn't there before, but my approach is now different. But I couldn't have seen that if I wouldn't have taken this first step. So define for yourself what skills you are missing, or what qualities or qualifications you need in order to change. Like if you want to open a new restaurant, you might need a qualification in order to serve liquors and alcohol. So that's just a practical thing the system requires from you. If you want to change jobs, there might be a requirement asked for you. I knew I needed to develop the skill to share myself online. So that's what I'm practicing now. So you might write down some skills that you need that you are not doing right now. You're kind of uncomfortable about it, but just write it down what you think you need. So if you want to set up retreats, then you might need to train yourself to work with groups, to sit in front of a group and do a workshop. And you might want to try that out now in a very small setting, and invite some people through Facebook or whatever, or a local ad, and just try out this workshop thing if it works for you. And just take one theme you want to share with the people you want to work with, and then make it very small. So practice this skill of becoming a trainer or a retreat facilitator. So think about the things you need. And secondly, think about the risks or the changes it will ask from you. Like if you want to really change jobs, and there's this risk and fear of losing income temporarily or permanently, and you feel this fear of coming up like, oh, but I'm not going to earn enough money with creating my new vision, and I'm not sure I will earn enough money, then you find yourself really blocking yourself for a long time. But that's okay. For now, just write down what kind of resources you need. So you need money, perhaps you need other people. If you want to set up something, you want to work with other people, so you have to network to find other people. Or you might need to make yourself known online because you want to work with people online. Or whatever it is, just write down what other resources you actually need. So the resource is slightly different from a skill. A skill is something you need to do in order to become this new you and to share yourself in a new way. And the resource is something that you need outside of yourself. It can be as practical. I need a computer, or I need some software, or I need, I don't know, I need a space in my home because I want to become a coach and I need a private space to hold a session, or I need to look for a training facility, whatever it is. So write these down and then see per skill what you're lacking, and obviously above those skills that you're lacking, you have already the skills that you already know you have. So you have the ones you know you are good at, you have your natural talents, then you have the skills you still need to develop, or the knowledge you need to gain. Like, I need to learn how to present, to work online. That's just a technical knowledge and technical know-how. So I'm learning that now. And then you define the resources you need. So what kind of, like I just explained, money, other resources, and then just explore actually, okay, this is the one I want to focus on first, and then explore what's actually needed for that. So going back to this video of Schwarzenegger, can you just find 1 hour a day to really work on a skill you might need, on how to get a resource, realize, and how to get there. I don't even know the visions you have. I can't make it very specific, but I hope you understand what I mean with just make an overview of the gap actually, what there is. So you're going from A to B, and in this process, you can define now a gap. And this is not a fixed gap, because we are going like this to this final vision. So you don't know yet all the gaps that you have. And you might fill in a gap which has turned out not to be very useful later on, but that's okay. It's part of the process. As long as everything you want to do is in complete alignment with your vision. So make your vision as short as possible. Like my short sentence, I want to wake up people in this world, and I want to reach as many as possible. And that's my short vision. So try to come up with something like that. I want to become a teacher, and I want to work with teenagers so I can really empower them. Or I can show them new ways of learning, or whatever it is that you are passionate about. And if you are very creative and you've been painting all your life, but you've never really turned that into like a small business or a fulfillment that you like want to share your art with others, well, then create your vision around becoming an artist again, and what it actually is, why you want to share it with others. Perhaps then you come to the idea that you don't want to be an artist in the sense of you want to create art, but perhaps you want to become a teacher in learning others how to become an artist, or you want to work with children and show them how to work with art, or how to become the first steps in becoming a painter, or how to be creative in their life. And then you use art, your skills as art, to work with children. So it can show up in many, many, many different ways. So just make very clear actually what the gap is, what you're still missing, what you're still lacking. And and ultimately, if you talk about the vision and about the purpose, ultimately you just want to get the full potential out of yourself. Everything that you have within you, which is not shared yet with others, which is not shown in such a way, in its optimal way, is actually what you can, is why you want to create a vision, how you want to move from why you want to move from A to B. And don't let money be the hiccup here, because it always is. It always is. We never want to change something because we have fear of losing the safety of income. So if that comes up strongly for you, or for any one of you, share that, because then I might want to share again on the topic of the limiting beliefs around money, and then in a different way, from this perspective of visioning and creating your vision. because I only shared it in a very generic, like system way, how we are dealing with money issues and how it's relating to your self-worthiness. But I can also share it more in a practical way. Perhaps I can do that even tomorrow, actually. Well, anyway, I see what comes up tomorrow. So I think this is enough for now. I hope this helps to move you forward. And yeah, and one other thing, don't feel really stuck if you think like, well, this is my vision, but it's not really clear yet. That's okay as well. Just write down the things that come up. Don't delete them. Try to write with pen and paper and just stripe them, cross them out if you don't like them anymore, but just leave them there because they might come up again. And they think like, it did come up the first time, but I was kind of afraid to say yes to that part of the vision. So just brainstorm with yourself about your vision and how it's related to your purpose, and don't be too perfect in it. It just gives you direction for now, and you can, as long as it's in alignment with you, and as long as there's excitement within you to do that or to change that for yourself, then that's enough. That's all it takes. Okay. Thank you for now, and I'll see you back tomorrow. And let me know if this stream was too bad quality-wise, and I'll move somewhere else tomorrow and have to record this one again. Okay, ciao.